Hello and welcome to the BSN Monthly Brief for March 2023. The BSN Monthly Brief is a series where we share the latest BSN news and updates with our community. So I'm joined today by Red Date CEO Yifan He. Yifan, welcome. First, we're going to start off and talk a bit about some of the recent news that's come out regarding BSN. The first was with FUJIFILM. Business innovation team in November. So a couple months ago, FUJIFILM and Red Date actually formalized our intention to collaborate at a contract signing ceremony that was conducted in the metaverse, which is a first for Hong Kong. The partnership was for a document tokenization service on BSN Spartan. And will likely include new developments for new services in the future. So it was actually the first time ever in Hong Kong, at least, that there was a contract signing that was done in the metaverse. And I participated in that, which my children thought was very interesting and exciting. I can tell you that one of the questions that people asked me was, how did it feel to do it? I actually did it all remotely, so it wasn't like I had any virtual reality goggles on or anything like that. It was all done kind of remotely and automatically. But it was different from a traditional ceremony in that I wasn't physically there with other people, and it all happened in this kind of virtual world. I think more importantly, the partnership itself is really exciting because it's a really interesting and valuable use case where FUJIFILM has a enterprise document management service, and what they've done is they've used BSN Spartan to create semi-fungible tokens of documents, like a contract between multiple companies. And so what they're able to then do is, if you have a contract that has maybe 8 different companies involved, that contract can be tokenized and then go through the various signatories in the different companies, and everyone can log in and instantly see where in the process the contract is, who signed it, who hasn't signed it. So it's it's a very exciting collaboration with FUJIFILM, and one of the interesting use cases that's come out on BSN Spartan. Another announcement that came out in the press a few weeks ago was that we've partnered with Singularity Innovations, which is a Dubai-based fintech firm that will offer BSN Spartan blockchain infrastructure services in the Middle East and also in Africa. So we partnered with Mohammed Taser, who's the CEO of Singularity Innovations. And he's very excited because there are a lot of markets that he covers, particularly in Africa, countries like Egypt, where cryptocurrencies are not allowed. And so he's really excited about Spartan because it will allow him to bring decentralized technology, decentralized applications to those markets where cryptocurrencies are not allowed. And so he's already working on a lot of interesting things regarding supply chain and global trade and carbon credits. So we're proud to be working with Mo and his team with Singularity Innovations to bring Spartan to the Middle East and Africa. And so we expect that there'll be more updates over the next few months about the work that Singularity is doing there. In other news, the Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission recently published draft rules for virtual asset trading platforms in Hong Kong, and has sought public feedback and input on that new licensing regime. The regime itself will take effect in June, and so they're using this period to gather input. The intent is that, among other things, they will require cryptocurrency exchanges to apply for licenses that would allow retail investors to trade certain types of tokens. Related to that, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority in January issued a consultation paper regarding stablecoins and its intention to provide regulation for stablecoins in the future. And so that's an exciting development for Hong Kong, because we at BSN think that regulation is important, and that regulation gives certainty and confidence to the enterprise community about some of these technologies. So I want to kind of turn it over to Yifan. HKMA has issued that stablecoin license regime that I talked about. How does BSN think about that? And is that something that we might be interested in participating in the future?
Yeah, Kim, like we always discuss and always be asked by different people, our partner is you guys promoting the decentralized internet or decentralized environment, decentralized cloud, decentralized technology. What's the use case? What's the killer app? in the future? Because even for internet, 99% of the traffic come from like 5 type of applications, like a video, social media, e-commerce, right? So personally, I think the top 2 of what we can see very, very quickly in the future, 2 killer app. One is the digital currency. Okay, what I mean digital currency is a payment-related digital currency, like regulated stablecoin and the central bank digital currency. Then the second one is KYC, which means KYC certification verify. You can build centralized, you can build decentralized, digital currency and the decentralized kind of KYC. Certification actually bringing a lot of benefits. What I mean by KYC certification is like as simple as login. You don't need the username and password anymore. You just use a certificate to log in. So it's I think those 2 will be the first 2 top killer app on decentralized environments. IT environments. So that's why stablecoin, especially from a central bank, Hong Kong MA. So that actually means a lot. And that's why, because BSN Spartan is a public decentralized cloud services, it's a public decentralized, environment. So that's why we need to embrace and be ready for those 2 type of, all kind of business and IT process and IT, systems built based on, to utilize those 2 kind of, top app in our, opinion. So that's why eventually for Spartan Network, we need to integrate stablecoin or central bank digital currency as the fundamental capability, which means, for example, the FUJIFILM, right? When they charge people, you don't need to go to their website. They actually charge on the wallet who calls their smart contract. But we deduct, it's not a cryptocurrency, it's a digital currency, it's a stablecoin, it's, make the payment much, much easier. So that's why if Hong Kong government decided to, begin to issue the license as a Hong Kong, headquartered company, ready technology, we definitely want to apply one, for Spartan Network. So then, Spartan Network becomes something much powerful, right? Of course, we also begin to build the KYC certification kind of application on Spartan 2. It's our DID system, right? We are adding new data hub, new API, new capability to the DID. So those 2 is really something. I mean, most people don't say that yet, even the IT people. But but they will come. Okay, when more and more people understand how powerful the digital currency will be, and more powerful, a single ID that you can basically control your own privacy on a decentralized environment, then how important that is. Because for the second, the KYC application it's not just login, it's not just verify who you are. It's you can control your own personal data on any websites. You don't need to give them your data. You can actually control with your own private key. So it's a whole bunch of applications and the fundamental services we can build on Spartan.
Good. The other big news item more recently was the third BSN Global Partnership Conference, which was held in Hangzhou. And at the event, Yifan and I were both there. We brought together some of the top experts in the blockchain industry to discuss and explore some of the latest advancements and future possibilities of the technology. So Yifan, the event itself was a great success. I was there. It was amazing to see all the people that were there. Can you tell us a little bit about the event, and especially what the BSN Global Partners, what we heard from them?
Yeah. First, that conference is a BSN China conference. It's not the BSN Global Conference. So it's as everybody, people familiar with BSN knows, there's two BSN network, right? BSN China, BSN International. So that conference is the BSN China conference. So that conference was really, was very, very successful. The reason is we actually, we got a lot of partners, in China or globally to the event, in person or through video, to give real user cases based on this kind of decentralized infrastructure, based on BSN China, BSN Spartan, BSN DDC network. So it was, that's why each year we have the conference. Each year we see more solid content and the user case coming out. So we can see people begin to understand more and more, especially there's two party, who keynote speaker. The two of them, it's one is from public safety ministry. So they basically, it's because in China, for the financial services license, require KYC. Kind of, this is where the KYC come in, right? So requires a KYC verification. So they basically begin to explore how they can build a decentralized, central government kind of KYC capability, which means when you open, go to a bank, open accounts, they verify you with your KYC. Then when you go to a second bank, you don't need to go through the same process. So if you go to a website, you log in, the website verify you, then you can go to other website, partner website with this website, then much, much easier to access. So this is actually something, it's already public information, will be built based on the BSN technology. And the second speaker who actually, did a very good job. I think next time when we have our BSN Global Conference, we definitely need to invite him. He's American educated, a very sharp person and one of very good friends. He's actually from the public lottery company. Okay, there's two national lottery company. One is a sport lottery, one is a welfare lottery. So this person is from the Ministry of Sports, for the sport lottery. So you can bid on the soccer team, match and stuff like that. So he basically talk about, basically they are working with BSN team to do research on how to move the public lottery into a more transparent environment, like a BSN Spartan, BSN DDC network. Why? Because right now, all the lottery is managed in a back-end private system. So nobody can verify anything. There's no way to verify anything. I mean, his presentation was really, really good. You can go through how much money the government invests to make sure everything is transparent, everything is, it's a high quality, but because everything is in the back end, nobody can verify. So, but I think they now they fully understand what the decentralized technology are and how to make the private data in the private IT system to a more public IT system, make the data and the process more transparent, and that's the key to the lottery. To build the credibility, to make that more transparent. So that presentation really, really good. I think whoever really want to understand what the decentralized technology can bring to the world, that's a very good use case. Yeah. So that conference is really successful. Yeah.
Good. Well, let's kind of shift gears here, Yifan. We have some updates on the BSN Spartan Network that I want to talk about a little bit, and then we'll go back to you to elaborate a bit on what the impact of these things is. But so for the BSN Spartan Network, we have periodic updates with new features, new capabilities, and new services. The recent update created a smart contract marketplace for users. We also enabled users to access the BSN Spartan Network using Red Date's data center if they choose not to set up their own virtual data center themselves. We offered a quick testing function that has a tutorial video to ensure that users can learn how to get easy access to BSN Spartan. We have a new version of the BSN certified smart contract that includes persistent storage. We also have new versions of the beginner smart contracts, including simple storage, certification, multi-contract structure, and fragmentation. And we've optimized the incentive mechanism on BSN Spartan and then differentiated some of those incentives. So Yifan, I want to have you kind of dive a little bit deeper into what some of those changes mean. So first of all, maybe back up a little bit and talk about the smart contract marketplace in general. So why are we doing that? What are the types of contracts that are up there? What are the benefit for developers and users by using the marketplace?
Okay. I mean, right now, if people ask me what's the biggest barrier for BSN Spartan, BSN, the whole decentralized concept to move forward, the name the top three. I mean, the first one definitely is the knowledge. People don't even know this, even don't understand this. You need to educate people slowly to understand things. And second one, like a cryptocurrency, it not only help people to understand, it actually mislead people into different directions, right? And also with so that's why because we think in 10 years, okay, or as fast as 5 years, any IT developer needed to understand what decentralized technology means. When they design a system, they say, okay, those data, we needed to make that private, it goes to our private IT system, this is the process. But for this part of the scenario and the process and the data, we need to put it into a public IT system. Then, it can share with partners, it can make the whole thing transparent, it can, allow our end user to control their own data, to protect their own privacy. All those data, some of the data will be audited by third parties. So we put it into a public environment to make that more credible. Because if we put a private system, we can edit anytime we want. So there's a whole lot of benefit, but those benefits need to be understood, like by the IT manager and the developers, as better as they understand relational database today. It's become a common sense. This is the biggest barrier right now. So that's why we created the marketplace. So for a couple of reasons, the number one reason is for people to access from the simplest smart contract to the most complicated smart contract, always source codes. So you can learn from that. If you go to the Spartan website, you can see click on the marketplace, and there's 4 types of smart contract. You can see the layout. There's 4 tabs. The first one is actually, we call that BSN, smart contract. So which is actually those smart contract already deployed on, Spartan Network. So you can open the documentation, learn how to access those smart contracts. For example, you creating, NFTs, and you can, just call the smart contract to create DIDs, to put your personal data into a storage, stuff like this. So, and there's a second category called the BSN certificate smart contract. So those smart contract is not installed. It's open source, but it's developed by our partner and ready, so you can download them, deploy by yourself. Then you become the owner of the smart contract. So they are commercial level and the enterprise level smart contract. You can basically deploy your own stablecoin. You can. For example, we are doing some kind of lottery smart contract like that. The example I made. So we actually will, put a new smart contract in the second category each month. So people can download them, modify them, deploy them, and you can even download the smart contract, deploy on the Ethereum. We don't care. Okay, it's open source. It's just for people to learn, right? And the third category called the beginner smart contract. So that's actually we think, if you want to learn smart contract, how to program in smart contract, that's where you go. It's the first one is so simple. It's called the ERC20. Okay, so basically a token, how to do. But we move to a little bit more complicated. Like Tim just said, there's some kind of like a multi-signature wallet. How you program that, right? How you learn how to do a multi-layer smart contract, structure, which means sometimes if the smart contract you need to update the smart contract from time to time, you usually make them two layer. You update the second layer, but make the first layer always there. So because sometimes when you update the smart contract, the address changes. So you make sure it's, this is all very common technique, for programming, smart contract. But for a newcomer, it's really hard for them to, learn. So that's why I guarantee you, if you are experienced developer, go through our, this 12 beginner smart contract, you go through them, you understand everything. Okay, you can become a smart contract expert in 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks, probably 1 week. Okay, so that's the third category. The last category is basically a big, a cluster of smart contracts. So we found online, we think meaningful. So we give you the link, we give you a little bit description, like a 100 of them. So you can go there, click around, download any smart contract, learn from that, deploy on Spartan or deploy on any, EVM, blockchains. But the whole purpose is for people to learn how to, design and program and deploy the decentralized applications on Spartan. Yeah, we welcome you to learn.
Good. Well, I think that, Yifan, definitely the smart contract marketplace is probably one of the most exciting things that we've released in the last couple months. And again, hopefully it helps a lot of new developers get access to the technology, learn about what's possible. We're talking to a lot of universities right now who I think will find it valuable to teach students and enable them to do interesting new things and powerful new things on BSN Spartan.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everyone in the audience for joining us this month with the BSN monthly update, and we look forward to seeing you all again next month. Thank you.
Thank you.